as you come to a comfortable seat, take the time to make it comfortable. Take the time to adjust so that it feels easeful. And then as you move your sitting bones, we'll start at the very first chakra and notice the connection that you have with your sitting bones. Notice the connection that your legs have with the ground. And then as you let your eyes close, bring your awareness up a little higher into the sacrum area, just below the navel. And give your pelvis a little tilt forward and back. Noticing maybe a little bit of fluidity there. And then as you come to settle with your belly moving a little bit forward, bring your awareness up to about the low rib area and create just a little engagement of the low ribs, not trying to create a lot of core work here, but just enough so that your solar plexus area has some tone. Then lift the heart space up. Lengthen up through the upper palate. And then take a finger, doesn't matter which one, to your third eye. Just take a moment with your finger resting there for a full breath. And now as you release your hands down, we'll take the throat chakra mudra here. So you can open your eyes if you want to, or you can keep them closed. We did this last week, dropping the middle finger down to touch the meaty part of your thumb, and then wrap your thumb around the middle finger. Palms are up here. And again, with your eyes closed, feel free to tune into the affirmation of, I follow and speak my own truth. I follow and speak my own truth. And now switching that mudra to the third eye mudra of knowledge. First finger and thumb connect. And again, palms are up on your legs. And from here, the affirmation is, I follow the path of my own truth, open to the clarity of my vision. I follow the path of my own truth, open to the clarity of my vision. And now we'll take a breath that helps to really open. I think of it as from the heart up. So our Brahmari or our humming bee breath. Again, you can open your eyes if you want to, but we'll take our fingers to cover our eyes, first finger over the brow, and then thumbs into that part of the ear that sticks out. So you're pressing a little bit here, open the elbows up wide and draw shoulder blades onto your back. And then as we take 6 of these breaths, we'll inhale through the nose and exhale also through the nose, but a hum. So full inhale. And then release your hands down. And simply take a moment to feel whatever's present from those vibrations. And then softly open your eyes and take your right ear over to your right shoulder. Move your left shoulder blade onto your back. And then exhale, drop your chin down in toward your chest. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Move your right shoulder blade onto your back. Exhale, chin into your chest. We'll do that one more time on each side. Right ear to right shoulder. Re-engage your shoulder blade on the left. Exhale, chin down. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Re-engage the shoulder blade on the right. Exhale, chin back down and keep it there. Shoulder blades on your back and shake your head no toward the ground. Giving the back of your neck a little bit of length. And then keeping that look down, just little nods here. And now lift your chin up toward the ceiling. Keep shoulder blades on your back, length through the back of your neck. So you might not be tilting up and back as far as you can, but just think of that little bit of extra length. So now half circles, chin to one shoulder, chin to the other shoulder, with the half circle up toward the ceiling. Taking a couple of these on each side. And then as you come back into center now, drop your right ear over to your right shoulder, take a hold of the side of your head with your right hand, and then a little up and down movement with your chin. Inhale back up to center and exhale, left ear to left shoulder, take a hold of the side of your head with your left hand, and again, a little up and down movement with your chin. Inhale back into center, and now turn your head over to the right side and nod your head a couple times to the right. And then use your left hand to give a little bit of a push, just a gentle push, enough for a little bit of a stretch. And then as you tuck your chin down, take a hold of the back of your head with your right hand rather, and take gratitude with your left arm. So you're opening up through the front part of your chest, allowing your shoulder blade to engage onto your back. And you might re-engage your shoulder blade a couple of times. Then inhale back up to center, turn your head over to the left side and nod your head a couple times. And then take your right fingertips to your chin and give a little bit of a push. And then tuck your chin down, take a hold of the back of your head with your left hand, gratitude with your right arm, and a couple big breaths as you re-engage your shoulder blade a couple times. And then releasing your head, coming back into center. Switch the cross of your legs, coming to the less comfortable cross for yourself. Shift your sitting bones. And then take your hands together in front of you to rub, creating some friction and some warmth. And then bring the palms of your hands to rest gently over your eyes. And take a couple moments to feel the warmth around your eyes. Take a couple big breaths. And now, even with your eyes closed underneath your hands, lift your eyes to look a little up and then down, up and then down. And then at the diagonal, up right and down left and up right and down left. And then up left, down right, up left, down right. And then back into center. Simply allow your eyes to rest and take another full deep breath. And then releasing your hands, softly open your eyes and take a moment just to look around. Take a moment to simply let your eyes experience whatever sensations are there. And now hands come to connect at heart center. And as you let your elbows lift to not shoulder height, but to wrist height, draw shoulder blades onto your back. Gaze at your fingertips. And then inhale, watch your hands as you lift your arms up overhead. Clasp your hands here, maybe take some pointer fingers lifting if you would like. Draw shoulder blades onto your back again. And you get to keep that look upward if it feels okay, and add a little side to side sway, adding some length through your side bodies all the way down at your hips and all the way up to your armpits. Then back up to center and lift up with your heart. A little lift through your gaze. Release your hands. Take a gentle twist over to the left side, pressing down with your hands. Lift your ribs up high. And then as you allow the twist to happen from your low ribs, allow your eyes to look a little bit more to the left. And then inhale, arms overhead, clasping hands if that's in your practice, looking up, broaden tops of shoulders. Take a couple big breaths again with that side to side movement. And then back into center, a little extra lift. And exhale, release your hands, take that twist over to the right side. Long spine, exhale to draw your low ribs in and twist a little more. And allow your eyes to look a little further to the right. Inhale back into center now with hands at your knees. Take a moment to clear through the spine, just 2 cat-cows. Inhale, belly and heart forward. Exhale, press your spine back. Inhale and exhale. Then inhale, sit tall, shift forward onto hands and knees. And from hands and knees, you're finding your child's pose. But with this child's pose, find something to set underneath your head. So it might be a blanket, a bolster, a block. But let your head rest down. Third eye is touching whatever prop you're choosing. And with that, start to add a little bit of movement across your forehead, a little movement through your hips and your sides. And as you move across your forehead, you also get to find that movement through your neck. And now back into center, come to hands and knees. And you're welcome to shift that blanket or prop underneath your knees here. We're going to take a couple of lunges. So step your right foot forward in between your hands, allowing us to get into our hips a little bit. We will work into that wide fold. We'll do it with a whole bunch of propping. So hopefully that makes it a little bit more comfortable, but a little hip work will help. So wrap your left hip or your right hip back rather, extend your heart forward and add a little push down with your back knee. If you'd like, you can close your eyes here and bring that awareness to your third eye. Let the awareness on your third eye help you to tune into what it is that's present in your body and what you're receiving for messages today from your own body and your own mind. And then stepping back with both knees, step your left foot forward in between your hands. And again, center off with your hips, extend your heart, and then from this place, if you want, you can close your eyes. Take a couple big breaths. And from this place, as you tune inward, notice that wrapping action of your left hip and the push of your back knee to find that lift of your hip. And then stepping both knees back, step your right foot forward, extend your heart, and this time we'll lift our hips up, lift our hands up to our hips, center with your hips, push down onto your hips and grow longer from hip to armpit. And then as you open up through your heart, through your throat, and have a little bit of an aim upward of your third eye, again, you're welcome to close your eyes here and just allow your mind's eye to take a little trip through your body and notice what's there. On your exhale, hands come down to the front of your mat. Come to the highest point of your blocks as you work your front leg back, or your front leg towards straight, I should say. And as you find that place for yourself, wrap your hip back on your right leg. Send your sitting bones up, extend your heart forward, take a deep breath. And then bend into your front knee and switch legs, sending your right knee back, left foot forward. And then bring hands up to your hips to rise. And as you find that place, again, you're centering with your hips, press down onto your hips, lift your sides. As you lift your sides, lift your heart, lengthen your neck. Think of that length all the way through your upper palate. As you do that, if you'd like to close your eyes, you can allow that tuning inward to happen. If that makes it a little bit too balancy, you can always have a little crack of vision with your eyes. Full big breath. And then setting, hands back down on your blocks, come up to the highest point, work your front leg towards straight. Shift where your heel is and wrap back with your left hip. Pull your toes back, sitting bones lift, extend your heart. Full big deep breath. And then bending into your front knee, settle back onto your knees here. And with this, again, you can always have blocks, a blanket underneath your knees for some support. But now we'll take more of that opening with the hips. So step your right foot out to the right side at a diagonal so that your knee is bent. Set your right elbow onto your knee, left hand to your hip as you turn your belly and your heart to the left side. Take a couple big breaths here and start to feel that opening with your knee. Think of it moving toward the pinky toe edge. If you'd like, you can stretch your top arm to the sky. Full big deep breath. Then inhale, rise back up, set both knees down and step your left foot out in that diagonal. And then set your left elbow down. And as you turn your belly and your heart more open, feel free to stretch your top arm up. Full big deep breath. Again, notice that opening of your knee. Turning it toward the pinky toe edge, all the way from your glute. And then gently rising back up, releasing both knees down, and then step right leg out again. And this time, if it's in your practice, you'll walk it out a little bit further so you have a little more lean with your hips over to the right side. If not, that's okay. You can always stay stacked with hip over knee on the left leg. But again, you can have elbow at your knee, or if you want, you can have fingertips on the floor or on a block on the inside of your leg. And from this place, wrap your right glute down and under as you turn your belly and your heart more open, and maybe stretch. Big, full, deep breath. Then inhale, rise back up and set your right knee down. Set your left foot out at that diagonal, and then walk it out a little ways if that's in your practice. And then set either your elbow on your knee or maybe your hand on the block on the inside of your leg. Wrap your left glute down and under. Turn your belly open. Maybe stretch your top arm over your ear. Big, deep breath. Then inhale back up to center. And as you come to your knees here, or you can sit all the way down, you're going to find your bolster, your pillows, whatever you're using. And we're going to take our fallen triangle pose, which is getting into our IT band a little bit. So set your pillow or bolster toward the front of your mat. And then we'll take this from sitting. So often we come to hands and knees for this, but sit with your left hip closest to your bolster. And then extend your left leg out to the right side. Extend your right leg back behind you. Knee can be bent here, that's okay. And then you're going to turn yourself so that you can face your bolster, even turning so that you're rocking onto the outside edge of your hip. And from this place, settle onto your bolster or pillows or stacks of whatever you need. And take a couple big breaths as you allow for that stretch to happen and to tune into what's there. You're welcome to close your eyes for that. Tuning into the internal messages and the sensations. Take another full deep breath right here. And then gently push yourself up to your seat. And then we'll turn ourselves around to face the other way. Right hip towards your bolster. Right leg extends to the right side. Left leg extends back behind you. It can always be with a bent knee here. Turn toward your bolster. And again, you might rock onto the outside of your hip a little bit more. And then find what's comfortable for you to rest. And now gently use your hands to support you to rise back up. And then bring legs all the way around to the front. Grab one of your blankets. And find a roll. Soles of feet together into your butterfly. And then place the blanket over your feet. And then underneath your legs. And then support more if you need to with blocks. But then find a proper two to be out in front of you. And you can think of making it high enough. So maybe if it's in your practice today, you might set your forearms there and rest your head. So move your sitting bones. And if that option of folding forward is not in your practice, it's okay. Pressing into the floor behind you and lifting up from here with eyes closed is awesome too. So you can just bring your awareness to your third eye. But if hinging at the hips and folding is in your practice, then you might set your forearms down and you might set your forehead down to make that connection with your thumbs. Full big breaths wherever that is. Just giving yourself that chance to tune inward and notice, recognize what's in your practice for you today, what messages are present for you. Take 3 more deep breaths right here. Then inhale, rise all the way back up. And before we switch positions, we're going to take the left fingertips over to the left side and reach your right arm up and over your ear. And then take a couple big breaths. Maybe you work a little further into a side stretch. Both sitting bones can be on the ground. Maybe you stay up a little higher. But then turn your head a couple times up and down and just notice where it feels the best for you. Maybe that's a gaze up. Maybe that's a gaze down. Maybe that's somewhere in between. Find what feels the best in your body, in your neck, and take a full big breath. Then inhale, rise back up. And take your right fingertips beside your hip. Left arm over your ear. Grow longer through your spine. Take that depth of pose to where it is for you today. And then again, take those up and down movements. Just realize that we're not symmetrical even with our neck. So maybe this side needs to be someplace else for you to feel comfort. Find where it is for your gaze that feels good through your neck. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And now I want you to find the other blanket. So you should have 2, hopefully. And you're going to use your blankets underneath your legs as we come to a wide leg place here. So some rolls of blankets. And then you're going to take your legs out wide, and you might need to turn sideways on your mat. That's okay. But I want you to think about supporting at the thigh as opposed to the knee. That sometimes gives your hamstrings a little bit more of a break. So both legs extend out. Find that support for your hamstrings so there's not as much work being done. And now, props out in front of you. And it could be nice and tall, which is what I need today, or it could be a little bit lower, but we're gonna find that place where we can either set our forehead down or we can set our forearms down and set our forehead on our thumbs. So adjust, find that place for yourself, move your sitting bones, and just remember that if you need to sit up on something here instead of having your hips on the ground, that is also an option. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, hinge from the hips to fold as deeply as your body needs. And again, that can always be forearms down, head to connect with your thumbs. As you find that place where you can connect something to your third eye, utilize that gentle weight of your head pressing down to give your nervous system permission to release, to relax, to let go. And remember that you're never stuck in one place. So if you need to adjust whatever is showing up with discomfort or tension, three more deep breaths right here. Then inhale, gently bring yourself back upright. And walk your knees in. You can use your hands to support you there. And then set aside props. They're there for you for when you're ready in a little bit. I'm gonna move them to blankets to the head of my mat. Footprints to the floor now, and take a hold of either above or below the knees. And inhale, sit tall. Exhale, press back. And if you'd like to, you can close your eyes for your next 3 breaths. As you inhale and exhale, use your mind's eye to move through your body and notice. Then inhale, sit tall, and exhale, wrap yourself around your legs. As you're folding over your legs, let the back of your neck get long. Your eyes again can close here if that feels good, and take a deep, full breath. And now as you inhale and sit tall, bring a flex to your feet. And we'll take a gentle forward fold. So if you want to, you can again grab something for underneath your legs, or you can just work your way into this gently, okay? So as you inhale and sit taller, exhale, fold forward, take a hold wherever you need, and that might be at your feet, might be at your shins or at the floor. But then if it's in your practice, you can walk your feet out a little ways so you have a little bit less of a deep bend, working towards straight. Take an inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold as deeply as your body is ready for. And as you tune inward here, again, you can close your eyes. Take a couple full, big, deep breaths, letting yourself notice. What is it that your body has to tell you this morning? And then inhale, gently bring yourself upright, footprints to the floor. And then we're going to make our way all the way down onto our backs. Make sure that you have all your props handy. We'll do a little bit more work through the hamstrings and the hips, but definitely make sure that you have the availability to prop yourself. As you pull your knees up in toward your chest, rock a couple times side to side, do the usual thing to allow your low back a little more length, a little more comfort. And now extend your right leg all the way out against the ground, a little flex to both feet. And then draw your left knee across your body to the right side. And from this place, you get to tune into your own body and what it needs. You can always take a prop, set it underneath your leg somewhere, and start to extend your leg out long for both the hips, the hamstrings, and the outside edge of your leg. Okay, so this is like the pose that we did facing the other direction, getting into the IT band. Couple big breaths as you allow your shoulders to be open toward the ceiling. If it's in your practice, you can always turn your neck, turn your gaze over to the left side. And if you would like to, you can close your eyes. And again, move through your body. Notice for yourself what's showing up. And now bend your left knee and bring it back into center. You might have to shift your hips to be more comfortable here, but then open it up to the left side. And then again, you can add that propping if you would like, and open your left leg up to the left. You can always use your hand to support you here instead if you would like to, underneath your leg. Take a couple big breaths. The other option is to keep your knee bent. That's always an option. Full big deep breath. Again, opening with the hips, extending and lengthening through the hamstrings, but allowing some settling. And if you want, you can turn your head the other way. Taking your gaze to the right, but then also allowing the eyes to close if you want. Tuning into what's present. And now bend your knee and bring it back into center. And this time, give your knee a little squeeze. Just allowing for that compression against your side. And then extend left leg all the way out. Draw your right knee in. And then take your right knee across your body to the left side. And again, you can always add that propping here if that feels good to you. As you extend your right leg out long and towards straight. Or again, you can always keep your knee bent. If your gaze opening to the right feels good, then you can take that again and close your eyes and tune into what's present in your body, in your mind. And now bend your knee to bring your leg back up to center. And again, you can adjust where your hips are if you need to. But then we're opening our leg up to the right side. So first open the knee. And then if it feels good, you can extend it more toward the entire leg opening. Feel free to prop yourself here. Take a couple big breaths to find what feels the best in your body and to really tune into that intuition of what your body needs. You can take your gaze over to the left if that feels good. You can close your eyes. All of those things are options. And then bend your knee, bring your leg back into center and give it a squeeze, hugging it in toward your side. And now bend both knees, footprints to the ground, and then take your knees open wide, coming into this variation of your butterfly. Feel free to add propping underneath your knees here or underneath your thighs to add a little bit more ease. And from this place, hands resting on the hips, one hand at your belly, one hand at your heart is always an option. Take a couple big breaths. And in particular, use your mind's eye to tune into your hips, your low back, inner thighs. Really to tune into anything that's showing up. But noticing this place of the first chakra and the second chakra. About 3 more big breaths here. Excuse me. Bring your knees back up to center, drop them in together to touch. And now reach your arms up overhead. And for a moment, you can close your eyes if you want, but move a little bit through your pelvis. Goodness, tickle in my throat, sorry about that. And as you move through your pelvis, you're allowing for a little bit of that fluidity of the second chakra. And then we're going to move up into more of the third chakra around the low ribs. So take your feet out a little bit wider and allow that movement of the windshield wipers. And as you allow that movement of the windshield wipers, notice all the way up into the lower rib area. Notice all the way up into the heart and reach your arms if that's comfortable. Take a big breath into that space around the heart. And then come back up to center now. Grab whatever you have for a pillow or bolster for underneath your legs. Grab one of the rolls of blankets for underneath your neck. And then the other roll of blanket or your eye pillow for over your eyes. Whichever you happen to have. And then even allow a little press with your hands onto your blanket over your eyes. And from this place, take a couple big breaths and allow a little widening of the eyes. You might have to open them and then squeezing the eyes, widening the eyes, and squeezing the eyes. And then let your eyes rest. Let your neck and throat rest. And then move your awareness down into your feet. And wiggle your toes. Move through your ankles. And relax your feet. Tighten up the calves. And then tighten up the shins. And then relax your calves and shins. And then tense up your quads. And tense up your hamstrings. And relax your quads and hamstrings. And then notice the weight of your pelvis. And even add a little extra press of your hips into the ground. And then relax your hips. And then notice your low ribs. And press your low ribs into the ground. And relax your ribs. And notice your arms. You can always extend them out by your sides if you want to, or you can keep them wherever they are. If they happen to be at your belly and heart, that's okay too. But notice all the way through your fingertips and extend your fingers. And then relax your arms. Notice your neck and think of lengthening through your upper palate. Take a swallow or two. And then relax your throat. Relax your jaw muscles. You might have to move your jaw a little bit to make that happen. And then even notice your cheeks. And have the intention of relaxing your cheek muscles. Notice your eyes behind your eyelids. And give your eyes permission to relax, release, and let go. And now try to hold your whole body in your awareness, from feet to crown. And then release even the work of trying to be aware. Slowly start to take a deeper breath. Bringing a little movement into fingers and toes, maybe a little bit of movement through your head and neck. As you're ready to, bend your knees and roll to your side. And slowly push yourself back up to your seat. And from your seat, we'll take the throat mudra, dropping your middle finger down, wrap your thumb over your middle finger, palms are up on your legs. As you take a couple deep breaths with your eyes closed, tune into the affirmation. I follow and speak my own truth. I follow and speak my own truth. And then drawing first finger and thumb together in our knowledge mudra for the third eye. I follow the path of my own truth, open to the clarity of my vision. I follow the path of my own truth, open to the clarity of my vision. Have a peaceful, beautiful day, and have a wonderful weekend. Namaste.